but he'd left a whole gap out of his CV, and it was the whole piece about the army. Now, as an army officer's wife, I'm going to be probing that anyway. And it's such a powerful part of what he's done in the past. And I'm still amazed as to why you didn't put it on your CV.
Well, the reason why I didn't put it on my CV, and it was a conscious decision. Just, I thought that work experience is something where you get paid from, and that was I had to go to serve the military service. I had to do the duty to my country, so that's
But the
not
bit in all
really...
this that still baffles me, Panos, that I don't get is, how can you have spent a year shooting an assault rifle and standing beside guys in artillery with howitzers and then get frightened of a jigsaw?
Well, thank God in the Greek army we don't use jigsaws.
Shane, do you think it was fair that Panos went tonight?
Yes, I do. And I think he thinks it was fair himself. I mean, that's what amazed me about Panos was his departure, when that little interview afterwards, when he says, yeah, I didn't deserve to win, you know, I wish them well, they're the best candidates, etc. And were you lacking in toughness? Was that's the problem? Were the two girls who got through actually much tougher than the two lads who got eliminated in the end?
They are very tough people, and I am very tough. I have been through a lot of things in my life. The Greek army, I have worked for big organisations, so you have to be tough in order to survive in that environment.
Yeah,
so,
but you're not aggressive. I mean, the nearest we saw to aggression was
Lovely. Just lovely.
Brian, would you agree with Shane's contention that he's just not tough enough?
See, from a reality TV point of view, and not, I suppose, a business point of view, I thought you were great for the show because you were like the kind of funny person who kind of done it all, and I couldn't really do it really well. That I had a creak in my neck, and I have a fear of this. And obviously that's very funny for viewers watching it. From a business point of view, I do agree that I don't believe you were as cold and maybe as driven as the girls that didn't really show. I mean, Niamh has not really has shown that much of a personality, whereas you kind of did. I think that they hid a bit back, whereas you displayed yourself completely, which is great. From a business point of view, I think they wanted it more, and they're so cold and so driven to get the job. I think that you didn't want it as much.
But on that, did you not think you were stone dead as soon as you had the crick in the neck? Because Bill gave you a look that went, OK, the crick in the neck thing...
Well, I was definitely stoned because of the drugs I was taking that day. I had to watch myself on TV, and I was like, oh my God, I look horrendous. My eyes are like this, and I was like, oh, Jesus, well, it was so bad.
The drugs may have been a contributing factor, but let's remind ourselves where it all went wrong for Panos.
You seem to have excuses for each time you don't perform or leave.
I don't think they're excuses. They're reasons why I did what I do. My input should be much greater than it has been. Of course, I do have an excuse.
I would love to be the project manager, like in any sales task. My only concern for the first task, more strategic sales should be my forte, and not a sales task that has direct sales.
But Panos, I think it's 2 or 3 times now. This time I've had you with paint falling on top of you. We had you before then with your bad neck. Ow! I really need people who can keep going no matter what.
I sold the jigsaw, and the customer asked me to show him how to use it. I thought I was going to faint. I do have a fear of jigsaws. That's from childhood. But I did not mention that to anyone because I didn't want it to be an issue in my team.
Panos, does this extend to all power tools, or is it just the jigsaw?
I think some people in the competition care more about getting cigarette breaks and, you know, having a good time in front of the camera than actually getting the job done.
You're so fun, you blew my mind. It's working.
Jackie's there.
Oh, fire. No.
I think he could be quite lazy as well. He doesn't strike me as a real grafter, a real hard worker.
Two boys step back again today.
I felt I'm not originally Irish, so I might miss something which is really important.
I'm going to tell you what I'm hearing. You don't push hard enough.
Panos.
Yes, Bill.
Why on earth did you allow Barry to do the presentation?
This morning I felt really low on energy because I felt that the script wasn't good enough.
Do you think you've excelled in The Apprentice?
I did my best at times, but I could have done much more than I have.
On that particular day, I had a creak in my neck. Do you know what? It's time to go home.
I'm a hard worker. I'm not lazy. I don't sit back.
Didn't see an awful lot of that, Panos.
Bill said to me numerous times that I don't see you leading from the front.
You were hiding.
I'm really glad that I can lead from the back. I know it sounds like a really lousy excuse, but I'm a human being.
You will have missed the bit during that clip of Brian and Panos high-fiving each other on the suggestion that leading from the back is a very fine idea.
It worked.
It did, yes, and it has for Brian for a long time.
It worked.
David Block, MD of Brightwater Recruitment. David, Panos' CV, as we've said, hugely impressive. But he then gets into the interviews, and there seemed to be almost a dichotomy between the CV and his capacity to interview. How come?
I think the thing is the CV is crucial to get you the interview. And in life, your CV's got to be excellent, and yours was excellent and much better. And in the real world, that's essential. But once you get in front of somebody, the CV becomes irrelevant. Then it's just you and them and how you perform. And what I saw with you was a really nice, strong, empathetic guy with probably an exceptional feel for people. And that is, no, in a serious sense. I mean, you really understood people. How you managed when you had teams was unusual and very, very good. You understood the people and how to get the most out of them. However, what Bill said to us at the beginning was he's looking for a warrior, not a worrier. And you probably worried a bit too much and were worried a little bit too little. So the other two women showed major toughness, and you didn't. And I think it was the right decision. I think if you move forward, I think you've got a potential to be fantastic and quite exceptional, but not at the moment. You need to move forward.
David, thank you. Shane, can I just run this past you? Is this an awful commentary on Irish business, that we assume that you have to be tough as old boots to make it? Is it not possible to make it in business and be nice?
Oh yeah, I think it can. I mean, the last contestants will. I don't agree with all that communication stuff. I think he was a really nice fellow, and likability is a hugely important factor, and I suspect that's been left out of this contest a bit. We've been looking for the kind of really tough, rigid guys who make hard decisions and, you know, actually hurt people's feelings. I think likability in business is very good because communications, how you relate to other people, the interaction is something I think we might have emphasised a bit more throughout the series, in fact.
Well, in terms of likability, Panos, there is nobody, I think, in the entire competition who has been as likeable or as entertaining as you've been for the last 12 weeks. So let's have a look back at Panos' highlights.
Guys, we only have 30 minutes. Wake up!
It was challenging, but I think I blended in very well with the locals. I don't think the other candidates will perceive me as strong, and I think that's what I'm gonna play on to.
I think I use this at work at Google. I go around, hey, hello people, good morning! Hello!
Cheers, Panos. I'm gonna try to sound as less negative as possible, but it's a viral. Trying to get his phone number. You should have the guts to say this here. Do not look at me with that smirk.
My boyfriend said, if you cry on camera, I'll dump you.
You're quite emotional.
I am.
Okay.
Looks like we're getting a divorce.
Stop doing that to him!
Amazing. I got stuck into everything, from labor work to actually pick up dog poop. That's what I thrive on, difficult challenges.
They have squeezed me here with their hoochie mamas.
I've taken too many painkillers and I feel a little bit light. I do have a fear of jigsaws.
As soon as he looks at you, you just feel the fire burning inside you. I loved it.
The name of the game was Baba Trap Ship.
What?
I did not... Shush. Our concept is based around a personality. Sorry. If you're really good at what you do, you don't have to work on mind games and backstabbing.
Thank you very much.
That's fucking brilliant.
He's landed a deal with insomnia. Way to go, Panos.
If anybody says from the other split that we didn't have too much to do, they will have to deal with me. Just give us a knife, and I'll make sure nobody comes back apart from myself. I was in the boardroom. I was on my own, and Bill was dressed up as a Spartan warrior, and he just sliced my head off. I knew this was happening.
Well, at least that was honest and direct. Thank you very much indeed.
Panos